Anyway, well, I guess just start with a little bit about the film and why you did it, and how you became so passionate about it.
I mean, making the film, making a movie was an idea that sort of popped up about maybe 16 years ago, just like after we did the Crash Into Me video. That's when I love that video. I love the style of that director. And I just love the fact that it's just like the images, which were beautiful and dreamlike, just matched completely with the song, and it was just like this whole experience, And to me, that's what I always wanted to create with a movie, And that's when I was inspired really to make a movie, and that's the kind of movie I wanted to create that sort of blended that, the images and the music together. So, I mean, over the years, I've been thinking about movies and in one aspect or another, how I would go about it. I knew that I would probably have to do it myself, and also I just wanted to get the movie to people in the most direct fashion, And to me, it was my idea was always to put the movie in music venues, and just sort of tour with it, and have a band, as well as part of the show. And it's just originally my idea was to over a few shows show a series of scenes, of one performance, and the next time more scenes, and then at the end you would sort of put everything together and show the whole movie. But in a sense, that's we're doing these events now that are leading up to the premiere on August the 30th. And those events are, in a sense, a little bit like my original idea, which is cool because we're now having events where we're inviting people to come to see the A scene, which really is, in a sense, maybe 4 separate scenes, depending on how you want to look at it. It's almost like a ballet suite. It's a bonfire scene, and it's it goes there's sort of 4 different songs in them, 3 of which Stefan's on. And another few that I'm on, but but we're showing that as part of these events, and we're also showing the trailer, and we're also having a band. We had Alberta Cross and the Grand Nationals, and Rashawn came out, and one Jeff came out, and the other, and it was just a really cool experience. I mean, it was just this whole thing. It's just I came out and I talked about the movie. Explained sort of the story behind it, and how it came about. We showed the trailer, and then I came back and had a question and answer session. People had awesome questions about the way that we went about making the movie itself, and it's just really cool to see that people get the movie and where it comes from, just from even just seeing the trailer and a scene. But it was really cool because this movie is it's touched people, everybody who has sort of been a part of it, in just a really special way. It's it really comes from the heart. It's just everything is just so real. It's we sort of wrote this movie and did everything around the music for this movie.
Right.
And all that music, I mean, it came from, in the beginning we had the beginnings of the story. Which, I got these musicians and I told them the beginnings of the story, and then I said, just go in now with this information of the story that and just play, and just play, create the soundtrack to this. And I said, just play it from the heart. And so all the music you hear in this comes completely from the heart, just happened in the moment. And that's the incredible thing about this.
Without any scenes or cut sheets or drawings that show you this is what it's going to be. So then you took that soundtrack, and that's how you put the pictures to the music.
Well, yeah, we in the end of the process, we edited the movie. We started we would have a scene and we would have an idea of which music went with it. It's okay, this feels like this scene, okay. And so we would put the music together. I mean, the movie together around the music. It was kind of we danced the movie to the music.
Awesome.
And it's just our shots were dance steps, what I'm saying? And this one goes here, and that one goes here, and this one goes here. But it goes just beautifully. It's just somehow we had all the right pieces, and we put them together in the right way. And it's just the most inexplicable thing that I've ever experienced in my life, because there was something greater than all of us that was working in this thing, because just I mean, it was a perfect experience. You know, it's just like everything, every dream that we dreamt about this movie just happened. You know, and it's just like, just the prospect of getting people to see it is just a beautiful thing. You know, it's just like it's, I don't know, man. It's just like, it seems like I always wanted this movie to just go directly to people. You know, it's just like from me, the artist, from us, the filmmakers, to the people, and it's cool, you know, because it's a very, so far, a very grassroots thing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's straight to the people, and it's really, that feels good. I mean, it's very much the way dMb started. It's exactly the way we started, you know. It's just like, it was like you guys, the fans, came to our shows, and you brought tape recorders and cassette tapes, and you recorded our shows, and then you sent them to all your friends around the country. And so anywhere we went in this country, we already had a following from the tapes. You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up. Right. You know, that's all I know. So
how's that gonna work? You're premiering it right before the Gorge, the day before the Gorge in Seattle. Why Seattle? Any reason behind that?
Well, Seattle is pretty significant to the film. It's like we recorded like really the first parts of the soundtrack in Seattle during the recording of the Grubruck's Kid.
Right.
So it would be like I would be in a session like till like midnight with dMb. And then I go up to another studio and record from like 12 midnight to like 6 in the morning, you know, with these other musicians. And
how grueling is that?
It was fun. I mean, it was grueling in a sense, but it was just so much fun that it didn't matter, you know. And it was just, you know, it's just like, and it's like it was cool because I got to bring stuff back from each to the other, you know. It was just like, because it was just like they were both coming from different mindsets, but it was cool because I was able to bring back. You know, you learn different things, and you come from a different place musically when you're playing with different musicians. So it was just cool to like sort of, you know, bring those two like musical sides of myself, you know, back and forth. It was, I like that. I love doing like two creative projects at the same time. You know, it just, you know, it really fuels ideas just all over. You know, I mean, the stuff that I do in this movie. It's like really affected the way that I play, you know. It's just like it's expanded my mind a lot in the way that I look at like music, and it's you know, so it's just like I love that, you know, and I love just doing, you know, just different creative projects at the same time. It's I don't know, it makes me, you know, I think more creative, you know, and it's just I love it.
So you started it in 2008. When did you really finish the project?
Well, we finished it like in November of last year.
Okay.
So it was like 3 years, and it was worth it. You know, I mean, it was a very long time to make a movie, but it's the way that we went about it. There was no other way to do it. You know, because we had to like really. It was just like we had to sort of stitch it together. You know, and create. You know, this piece. You know, this like fabric. It's just like the movie. It's just like it's sort of like there's music throughout the entire movie, and one scene is one emotion, and it's like it takes you into a whole other emotion, and it's like that the entire movie. And it's like there's very little dialogue in the movie, so you experience the movie more from the feelings that you get from the music and what you see than from the dialogue, you know. And it's like we have actors like Ryan Orr, the lead actor, is just amazingly charismatic, and he has just like the most expressive like eyes. It's just amazing. He has like depths of expression that I've never seen before. I mean, it's just like there's probably hardly one scene where he shows the same expression, you know. And but it's just kind of like, so the thing about him is that you're following him through this movie, but most of the movie he's not even saying anything, but he just draws you in, and he's a very big part of the movie. And it's you know, it's a beautiful movie too. It's just like beautifully shot in the perfect spring of Charlottesville countryside. And
was it all done in Charlottesville?
It was all done in Charlottesville, man, and you get to see, you know, lots of parts of Charlottesville. And the main house in there is our manager's house. We were lucky because so many people just like, you know, provided whatever we needed, you know, and for free. You know, it's like, yeah, you can use my restaurant or my house, and yeah, you know, you can. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, there were times when there was one like it was kind of a parking lot scene, and it's like, you know, there's these kids, and they were they're sort of partying, and there's this sort of fire burning in this barrel. And so we went to shoot this scene, and in this parking lot, but we didn't have permit the one. We just sort of went there and shot this scene, but it was cool because it's just like it was vacant, and we weren't doing anything. They were shooting, but it was even cool because the police came up, and instead of saying it's like, you guys have got to tear this down because you have no permit, he asked us if we needed any security to keep people away from the set.
Nice.
That's how cool people are in Charlottesville. So we had that the entire time, and we were really, really grateful.
Awesome. I think that's amazing. Was there anything that at any point in the journey where you're just like, man, this is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be?
From the very beginning.
From the beginning. You want to do it? You want to do it?
It was almost like every now and then it's like, holy.
You can
whatever.
say it. You can
Holy,
say it.
you can believe it. Holy what? It's just like, what's going on here? It's like, I can't believe that I'm actually making a movie. But the thing about it was just like there was always these encouragements and signs. It's just like this incredible music came out all of a sudden. It's like we started shooting. It's like these beautiful scenes started to take place, and this beautiful footage, and we started to edit. It's just like, oh my God, it's like, look at the way that the music and the film are dancing with each other. It's just like there was always these things that kept giving us more belief and more faith, and just sort of pulling us in to the point where we just knew that this movie was going to be there, and it's just like it would arrive when it arrived, and it was really.
Is Ben real?
Ben, well,
I know the timing of this comes after Leroy passed. Is there any of that in there?
Yeah, I think that Leroy's passing. That fall, I was really depressed and down,
Sure.
And it was a rough fall, and I needed to, I remember thinking I have to do something, because I just wasn't doing anything, because I was just like very, just very down, and and this was something that just sort of hit, like all of a sudden in one moment. It was just like, wow, I have to make a movie. So I think that Roy's death affected this in the fact that I needed to express it in a creative way, and from the very beginning of this process, it was like I felt his presence, and I know he would have loved it.
Oh.
He would have loved it. He loves just new ideas, and he would love it. So yeah, that definitely influenced it, and also Ryan Orr is just who's also a really good friend of mine. I wanted to have his character, because I had already decided that he was going to be the lead, but I wanted to have his character have some aspect of I wanted to have, what am I going to say? I wanted to have some aspect of him in the character.
Sure.
So that there was I didn't want him to be the character, but I wanted him to be able to relate to the character in some kind of way.
Sure.
And his father had passed a few years before, and it's something that was really, even something now that he's still dealing with. It was just I knew that would be something that he could really sort of portray in a real way. And so that's where the premise of the character and the story came from. It's just to me, it's just the last thing I want is for actors to act, in a movie. I just rather them just be, just become whoever that character is, instead of trying to be that. And that's one of the reasons why it's just I wanted something from his life, something real that he can relate to, so that he could actually, bring that real experience in him out through his character. And Ryan did that, and he did it brilliantly. He's just an amazing actor, and I can't wait to share him with the world.
So real quick, how are you bringing it to the fans? I know I saw that it's going to be on the Netflix and whatnot, but how are we all going to see this?
We're going to have a premiere, which is going to be live webcast. It's going to be from Chicago on August. It's going to be from Seattle on August the 30th. And it's live, it's free, and we're going to have musicians there from the soundtrack, and we're going to have a couple of songs where we're actually going to play live with the movie.
Awesome.
So that's going to be cool. And
I can't even imagine how that works.
Yeah,
you
it's
just
going to be
the soundtrack, and that's.
We are still putting it together. Okay. So when we do, I'll let you'll find out.
Okay.
You'll find out on the 30th.
Sounds
man.
cool. The concept's
but
great.
it's going to be really cool. And we are leading up to the premiere. We're having a show in Chicago, an event on August the 2nd, and that is also in the works right now. And but details of that will be announced pretty soon. But yeah, and whatever else happens between now and the 30th. Like I said, this is a very grassroots thing,
yep.
And we just sort of go with the flow. So, we're having fun, and people are seeming to dig it. So we're just gonna keep on, man.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank
you so much for your time.
All right,
I appreciate it. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing it.
Awesome.